We are talking calligraphy in today's Creative Corner. Amanda Plotner joins me. Amanda, glad to be here with you today.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, well, I know that calligraphy is something that I've always attempted to do, but I know it takes a little bit of practice, and it comes as you practice.
Yes.
But tell me how you got into this creative hand lettering.
I was getting ready for my wedding.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and so I wanted to save money, right? And now I used it on my envelopes, my invitations, but now I use it on Christmas cards every time I send snail mail, which I like to do.
Yes.
I love doing that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's so beautiful, and today we get a really cool practical use of calligraphy, which it is practical everywhere, but especially when it comes to sending out mail, like that snail mail that we were talking about. We have a really cool example here of addressing an envelope. Maybe it's for the holidays, maybe it's an invitation of sorts, but you can see how beautiful the lettering is there. And we have a cool way to actually do that today. Can you walk me through what we're going to do?
Yes, so I made a template, and it's downloadable. It's on my website, so I made it so people can download it, and I just laminated this
so
that it sticks and it's easier, you know, and when I'm writing on it. So yeah. It's so awesome. It fits an A6, or so it's a 4x6 envelope, and I also have a bigger one. So depending on what you have.
So that A6 is representative of the size of envelope to make sure it matches and is proportionate.
Yes.
And so whenever I try to address something, it's like so wonky. So this template helps you stay kind of within the lines.
Within the lines, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so tell me how you do the lettering within such a small space. How does that work?
I actually use my washi tape to kind of stick it together, because then we don't want it to be running around, right?
Yes.
So I'm just going to actually stick it long ways that way. And see the center line right here?
Yeah.
So that actually is the middle of my envelope.
Okay.
So you involve a little math in it.
Okay.
And it's okay to use a pencil. It really is. So let's just say Mr. and Mrs. John Doe.
Okay.
And then their address is 123 Main Street.
Okay.
So
good address.
I actually start with their home address, so the street number, and I do the math, like, so 1, 2, 3, and then Main Street has 4.
Okay.
And if you want to write out the full name street, so kind of find where the middle is. And because I've already done this in that example, I know that N is the middle.
Okay.
So I'm going to start my letter, like I just write in bold letters.
Okay.
And I just do the N right in the middle to just remind me, okay, that's where I want to move. And then I move backwards. This way.
Oh, man. Okay.
It involves a little bit. So
yeah, it's definitely some thinking here.
But, you know, you'll get the hang of it, and then kind of space it out however.
And you're using that middle line.
I'm using the middle line, because the top line is a little bigger, and that's for the name.
Okay.
Right? So then I'm just going to...
I'm going to do the same example here.
Yes.
So do you start with the N, because that was the center that you found for Main?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the N here.
Yeah, and so you line it up with that middle line,
Okay.
And then just work backwards.
Oh gosh, this really does take some thinking.
It does.
I'm zoomed in on it right now. Let me think really hard to not mess this up. Main, and then 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
And I would think this might take a little bit of practice.
A little bit, but you know, after a while you get the hang. After you've addressed, what, 5 envelopes?
Oh yes, then you have it down.
Yes.
So you got to stay within the lines a little bit, which I'm clearly not doing too well.
And that's why we're using pencil, and it's fine.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting using like the top with script and the rest and like clear print. That does kind of add like a stylistic factor.
Doesn't
to it?
Yeah.
I love that. That is really interesting. Plus, I feel like the bottom half being a little bit more print will go a little faster.
Yes, because you also want to be mindful of that, because the post office might reject your mail because it's too much. If they can't read it, they're not going to send it out.
That's a fair point. And then do you keep it in pencil, or do you go over?
No, I go. I usually.
Or you use pen.
I use pen right away.
Once you get it down.
Yeah, once I get it down, you know. But pencil's perfect. Like, we mess it up.
Yes. Until we get it down. So maybe you have that one that you do with pencil, you do a couple rounds of it, then you have that as like your template as you go to reference it.
Right, and then your hand also knows what to do already a little bit, right? You built your muscle memory.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's definitely a labor of love, but it's definitely one to impress people.
Yes.
Now, your scripting obviously has taken a lot of skill and practice, but people don't have to be discouraged, because you have a ton of cool resources on your website.
Absolutely.
Of how people can download a cool template, or to see the basics of how to do this cool hand lettering. handlettering.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time here today and a fun little creative corner for people. Here are some really cool examples as well with a watercolor craft and some cool scripting on there as well. Very, very creative here. All right, we will connect you with how you can maybe address some cool envelopes on your free time. We'll connect you over on our website, sayliving.tv.